So today we're going to read a nonfiction text and then talk about the main ideas. Who can tell me what nonfiction text means?
I was going to ask you about nonfiction text.
Okay, so does anybody know what a nonfiction text is?
It actually happened.
Yeah, so nonfiction texts tell us about things that have occurred in history, not stories that we made up. And so, can somebody give me the title of this text?
New training program in Nashville teaches police about civil rights.
Awesome. Okay, so based on the title, what do we think the story is going to be about? Just making an educated guess.
Teaching police.
Awesome. Okay. And so now we're going to read it silently. And while we read, I want us to think about what are the main ideas in this and what are the details, and then we're going to talk about it after we read. So when you're done reading, just kind of look up at me and put it down so I know you're done. Okay? Awesome. Awesome. So now that we've all read it, can anybody tell me what they think the main idea of the whole passage is?
Teaching police?
Okay, and that's great. So what are we teaching police about? Are we teaching them better ways to capture criminals or better ways to track people down? Or what are we teaching them?
To be fair.
Awesome. And how are we teaching them to be fair?
By learning about history.
Exactly. So now let's look through the story some and try and find some passages or sentences where it tells us how and what they're teaching police and why. Okay, what do you have?
Well, I think it's important because right here on this little second part it says, today there are again clashes between the African American community and police. So that's why it's important because they're not getting along very well, so they have to work better together.
So that's one example of why they're having this program. But let's look a little bit more in that sentence. Can you flip back there, Joel? Okay, awesome. So we're looking in this section right now. If not us, then who? And there it tells us in the third paragraph that the police department is teaching new recruits about the civil rights movement at the library. This will help recruits treat people fairly. And so if we look throughout the whole story, we can see more places where they're telling us about how they're doing this civil rights program to help them treat people fairly. And you were right, that's one example of why they're doing this. But let's maybe look for some more examples in the passage about other places where they tell us the main idea.
Yes, rebuilding the trust with the public, they talk about police also need to know just how much the people trust them, he said. So it's like the police need to recognize that they're important to the people of the community.
Exactly, yeah. So that's another reason why it's important to teach police how to treat people fairly. So they're important to the community. There's some current problems, but these are all supporting reasons why it's the overall main goal is that recruits know how to treat people fairly. So we can go back, if we go back to the very first page, if we look, they start off the passage with a little story to get us interested, right? But then we move on and they tell us that now recruits are learning about the difficult history between police and African Americans, right? So they tell us at the very beginning of the passage what the whole passage is going to be about. And so that way they're giving us a clue about what to look for, so that way we can see all the way throughout what we're learning about. So overall, Joel, do you think that the whole passage, that we can find examples of the main idea in the whole passage, or can we only find the main idea in one space?
No, I think it's through the whole passage.
Awesome. Okay. So to help us remember, we're going to do a little acrostic. Okay, so we're learning about the main idea. M, most important. A, it answers the title. I, it's what the information is all about. And N, note the topic sentence. Okay, so M, most important. A, answers the question. I, information, it's all about. And N, note the topic sentence. Awesome. Okay, good job, guys.